This was one of the hardest challenges I have ever faced. Some challenges take me a few tries to complete. This one, closing all my Apple Fitness rings every day for 30 days, has taken me 7 tries to complete. No joke, this video has been on my to-do list for over 2 years. It's by far the longest time it has taken me to do one of these challenges. So the question remains, why was this challenge such a challenge? Well, let's see in today's video. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jack Jenkins, and this is my YouTube channel where I do challenges that focus on fitness and self-improvement and turning me from, average into spectacular. Today, I improve myself by closing my Apple Fitness rings every day for 30 days.
For self-improvement, crafts, and fitness games, go ahead and turn on YouTube and watch Jack.
Let's get into the challenge. On Apple devices, you have these 3 rings that the company wants you to close each and every day. These 3 rings that make up one big ring of fitness. The 3 rings stand for calorie burn, exercise minutes, and standing minutes, matching to red, green, and blue in that order. To become a fit person, your goal, from Apple at least, is to close out these rings each and every day. In doing so, you get different badges and be able to complete different programs that the company gives you. It's a great way to help kind of gamify exercise, and it's free on all Apple devices. Yes, you can technically do this with your phone, although you'll have to enter everything manually, which is a bit of a pain. That is why I'm using my Apple Watch for this challenge. Of course, I don't have it on, so, makes this video perfect. The one downside to this Apple Rings concept is you can't change what these rings are for. For example, I read that the standing should be swapped out for miles walked or ran, which would be as a better system, as the standing doesn't really work, and some people already stand a lot. They want to focus more on how much they're walking, how many different miles. I will get to that later about the issue with the standing, but for now, you can only customize the goal number you need to hit for each. Throughout the day, your watch will send you different notifications, such as, hey, you haven't stood for the hour, or you haven't exercised yet. This feature was one of the main reasons why I wanted to get an Apple Watch to kind of help motivate me into losing my belly weight. It kind of hurt. Well, since I got the watch, I haven't really been closing them. As you can tell from the 2-year timeline of this video, it's extremely hard to do so. I work as a software engineer, which really requires me sitting all day. Not only that, but I also don't walk that much, seeing as I basically work from home, so I have to walk like 5 steps to the bedroom to my home office, and that's it. Lastly, I work a ton of hours, which leaves little time for the gym. Put all that together, and you have the reason on why I am nearly 300 pounds. And I was always a fat kid in school, I overeat, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to change that, so I went out and bought an Apple Watch. Even still, I haven't been closing these rings for years, so I decided to go ahead and make a video. No joke, these videos, the whole YouTube channel, are sometimes the only reason why I get exercise or go out and do different things. YouTube is a great motivator of self-improvement, as the site really wants you to create like a new video every week, so that requires you to do a lot of different challenges, organize yourself. It really forces you to be productive, especially if you have like a full-time job on top of that. YouTube is a slave driver that gets you going. And in this case, since I'm focused on self-improvement, it's good. If I was focused on like video games and stuff, then yeah, I would be burnt out like heck. My challenge was simple. set up the Apple Watch, and close all rings each day. My exercise ring is set to 60 minutes of working out per day. My active goal is set to 1,000 calories each day, and my standing minutes goal will be left on the default 12 minutes, which is at 1 minute per hour, which means, you're standing for at least 1 minute each hour for 12 hours, which is most of the day. Within these sets, I started off the challenge originally back in early 2023. Yeah, that was over 2 years ago. And yeah, I failed the challenge consistently, and I kept pushing back when I wanted to do it. Originally, I wanted to do this video in 2023 in January as part of the New Year's goal. I pushed it out because it was cold outside. I didn't really want to drive in the snow. I live in, near Chicagoland, so, the roads aren't really as plowed as they are closer to the city, so, Then I set my goal to be bad in March, but then work came back. Between the weather and my job, I kept failing the challenge until I started my successful run. That is from November 16th until December 16th of 2024. In case you are wondering, I'm recording and writing this video in early March of 2025 to be released sometime in April. Why is there such a big gap between when I wanted to do the challenge, when I actually did the challenge, and when I'm creating this video? Well, first, I am incredibly behind on these videos. It's not even funny. I have like 10 scripts sitting around waiting to be done, but I just don't have the time to complete them. The second thing is I didn't want to post this video because it's kind of embarrassing. It took me almost 2 years to do what a simple 30-day challenge, which should only take 45 days, including writing the script, recording, doing all this stuff. That is really sad. It took me 2 years to do a video that should have taken 40 days. But the question remains, why was this challenge so hard for me to do? Again, it has to do with my lack of time. Between work, keeping up with the house, different housing projects I wanted to do, cooking, cleaning, all this stuff, being with my wife, this YouTube channel, doing a lot of different doctor's appointments and stuff. I have a lot of medical things I'm going on through. There's just no time. Exercise tends to get put to the side, which is really bad. That ring, the exercise minutes, was the hardest to close. 60 minutes of working out? That's crazy. When would I have time to fit an hour? What I finally did caused me to close this ring was honestly starting up the Gorilla Tag video. That game burned calories like crazy, which made closing the activity ring easier. That means I could just walk to close my exercise minutes, which was pretty good. The Chicagoland area is pretty in the fall and winter. It doesn't really get bad in January, so I hit that sweet spot. That gave me a reason to go outside. Not to mention the gym was basically dead during these holiday times, so I was actually able to get my workout in my incredibly small gym. What really changed my attitude, though, for this challenge was getting new headphones. I went from crappy $20 Bluetooth headphones from Walmart to Beats headphones. I know, they're overpriced and not nearly as good as insert brand here, but they were way better than my old crappy ones. Suddenly, I was actually able to hear my music when I was working out instead of some old man grunting in the corner. At every gym, there's always that dude. I am big into music, so that gave me motivation to actually go to the gym. Just that small difference of getting headphones just led me to complete this challenge, wanted me to work out so I can listen to my music more. It was easy for me to just walk around to close the rest of the rings, and my activity rings were closed by playing Gorilla Tag. The standing ring was both the easy and incredibly hard to close. Apple's standing detection is absolutely garbage. Apparently it's based on the accelerometer position being down, but there were times when I was standing and I missed the hour time. I got it closed while I was sitting on my computer for over 3 hours straight. I think just moving the mouse around caused the accelerometer to move enough. It's yeah, you're standing. But, I wasn't actually standing. Also, if you take off your watch and put it on, you won't get the notification for that hour. It's really broken, and Apple won't do anything to fix it because they're so high on their own farts. So many people suggest changing it to calculate distance or adding a fourth ring, but Apple won't do so because they're too busy thinking they're the best company in the world. It's so frustrating, but it led me to be able to close my rings by eventually understanding that, hey, if I just move my mouse enough, it'll cause me to close my ring. Finally, after over a year of trying, I was able to completely close my rings for 30 days straight. All of this information has been put into Excel as a table. Here's the table where you can see all of that data. It will also be put up on the Jack Jenkins website. My leg itches. If you want to see a clearer picture. With all this data pulled in, I can gather a few interesting statistics. First, the total number of active calories burned in this challenge was 34,843. That's almost 10 pounds worth of calorie burn in 30 days. That is crazy. I didn't weigh myself before and after this challenge because I honestly thought I was going to fail for an 8th time. I really wish I did have that range because it would be so cool to get the difference of how much weight I did lose. As of today, though, I'm pretty much the same weight as I've been the past year, but I'm working out more, which is good. So even if I did lose a little bit of weight, it wouldn't matter because I weighed the same as I did a year ago. Next, the average amount of calories burned per day is 1,161 and 44 hundredths. Total exercise minutes is 2,045. That breaks down to an average of 71.5 minutes. Most of those minutes were spent on the stair stepper, which is my favorite workout machine. Total standing minutes is 408, with the average per day standing at 13.6, which I beat all of those ring goals, which is good. Overall, I am really happy I did this challenge. It was a great motivator to begin my fitness journey while I'm still in the early half of 2025. While that journey did get delayed with my snow, I am now motivated to start now as of March to get it going. My blood test should be soon, so I'm hoping that plus doing this video will finally get me to start on dropping my nearly 300 pounds of weight. I want to get to 200 pounds sometime this year. It'll be great. So guys, thank you for watching today's video. I hope all you watching are going to close your Apple Fitness rings with me. I want to do this challenge next year in 2026 as a 60-day challenge. Here is to doing it with only one try. If you want to be notified of that video, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. A new video will hit you every single Friday. Follow me on X and Instagram at TrueJackJank. Visit my website at jack-jenkins.com. Lastly, I want all you guys watching to have an amazing day. If you want to improve yourself, you can't do it alone. You can only improve yourself together. All right, so that was my script. This is about the next minute where I just talk off the cuff, no script on what my beliefs are. And and since doing this video, I actually started closing my rings more and more. I kind of got more motivated to try and close them. There's people on the Reddit who have closed them for literally 7 years in a row. That's absolutely insane. I'm like, do you guys travel on an airplane? How do you get your standing minutes on an airplane? But yeah, I want to be one of those people who gets it closed for an entire year. But I'll start doing it maybe next year with that 60-day challenge. See if I can get it going for the entire year. Overall, I do really like the concept of the Apple rings. I wish Apple was a little bit more caring of the customer to allow us to customize what we want. They're always like, this is the Apple way of doing things. I'm like, yeah, but I want customization. here's the Apple way of doing things. It's like you don't get any customization with this stuff. And I get it. It's supposed to be simple for the average person. I'm obviously a big techie. I work in computer software engineering. I build websites for work. So obviously I know a little bit more about tech than the average person. So I'm not really the target audience for this stuff. But I wish it would allow me to customize this thing. Or it would be awesome if there was like a quiz you can enter in to start. Be like, hey, I'm a 31-year-old male, 300 pounds. This is my goal weight. Give me the calories and stuff I need to burn in order to reach that within a certain amount of time. Kind of like what Wii Fit did in the beginning. Why doesn't Apple rip off Nintendo more? Come on. But yeah, overall, I like the concept. Wish it was more customization. But that was my minute rift. I'm not sure why I'm touching my watch. I took off my watch because I just showered, so I don't have it on. So I just keep touching it like I did have one. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And if you guys have any video ideas, please, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. Got any ideas? Please give them to me and I will do them. Take it easy.